I'm Matt Schoten, Product Manager for Adobe Flex. This is David Wadhwani. He is responsible for hiring me, and is therefore ultimately responsible for the video you are about to see. When David brought me to Macromedia 5 years ago to work on a seed project, I quickly learned two things. 1. Eli Greenfield is not as cool as everyone says. And 2. Despite its capabilities, I did not have the mindset to build applications with Flash MX. Fortunately, Macromedia was already working on a product codenamed Royale that we thought might just be the beginning of something special.
Get down!
The Flex team is primarily spread across 4 geographic regions. A lot of the team is on the west coast of the United States, primarily in San Francisco. We also have a number of folks in our Newton office outside of Boston, as well as 1 or 2 East Coast outliers. On the other side of the world, we've got a team in Bucharest, Romania, and Bangalore, India. As you can see, there is up to a 13.5-hour time difference between the offices. It means that there is no such thing as a 9-to-5 workday, since we're often in meetings at odd hours. Let's look briefly at the San Francisco office. We are located in a neighborhood called South of Market, an area that at one time was called Multimedia Gulch because of all the interactive media companies located there in the late 90s. When the bubble burst, many of those companies disappeared. But the area does seem to be making a comeback now. The office is right across the street from the Caltrain station and workyard. This does occasionally distract from an otherwise idyllic environment.
Shantanu, the secret to making money off of open source is... Hold on 1 second, it'll just be done in a second. Okay, I think it might be done now. Alright, really? Oh my eye!
Despite the occasional frustrations, we work hard to keep our environment professional. There are a whole bunch of wonderful people on the Flex team and within our extended family at Adobe. Let's take a few moments to meet some of them. As we noted earlier, the Flex team is spread across the world, and with the recent stock market troubles, we've cut back on sending our expensive film crew to each location. Our team in Bangalore has worked recently on many of our professional features, including automated testing and the data visualization components. They're also helping to bring Flex Builder to Linux. This team has an extraordinary amount of patience for working with those of us in the US at all sorts of horrible hours for them. I've decided that this is because they are used to watching those crazy cricket test matches. The Bucharest team is contributing across the board: Ajax features, Flex Builder wizards, web tier compilers, etc. They've got a pretty sweet office and excellent benefits. Our team in Newton works on the compiler, profiler, build system, and other cool things. Also, much of our documentation team is based there. For some reason, most of the engineers decided to be on vacation while this film was being created, so I've provided an older photo.
Thank you for being a friend.
Being a product manager, I need to work well with everyone, and that has led me to become friendly with many senior Adobe employees. Here's David Mendels, my Senior Vice President and General Manager friend. And here's Kevin Lynch, my newly named CTO friend. This is my most famous friend, Ben Forta. And here's Mark Anders, my principal scientist friend. On the Flex engineering management side, I'm really great friends with everyone. This is Susan, my director friend. And here's Steve, my SDK engineering manager friend. This is Lauren, my SDK QA manager and Jira coordinator friend. Eric is the new SDK program manager. He said he's heard all about me. We're bound to be good friends. On FlexBuilder, I'm good friends with Heidi, the engineering manager. The program manager Francis and I are best buddies. And Larry is my QA manager friend. In his hand he's holding a can of squid that is already spoiled and is threatening to burst any day. The QA engineer with the most bugs open gets to keep it in their cube as a reminder of how well they're doing. But I'm probably best friends with my fellow product managers. This is Steve, my thermo product manager friend. And here's Tim Buntel, the new FlexBuilder product manager. He's explaining to me how the cold fusion way of doing things is to get it done quickly, or get it the hell over with, as he might say. Our boss Phil is also, of course, my friend. Working with Phil is great because we just always seem to be in sync. Ted Patrick is not a product manager, but he is my Flex Evangelist friend. Ted likes to blog about features early, but I just let those kinds of things slide and try not to stress about it. On the development side, of course, we have Eli Greenfield, SDK architect. And many of you know Gordon Smith, who we rely on to keep us up to date on current events and pop culture.
So Deepa, the other Sunday I was watching 60 Minutes and Leslie Stahl was interviewing this guy that's developed this site called Facebook. Have you ever heard of it?
Even on the Flex team, we don't always know the answer to every question, and in that case there's only one person to turn to.
I don't know. Ask Alex.
I don't know. Ask Alex.
I don't know. Ask Alex.
What did Alex say?
No more questions!
It's okay. He'll still help you on FlexCoders. Up until now, the Flex team has typically followed a development model called Cyclone. In this methodology, we pair up a developer and QA engineer who work together to build the feature specification and the test plan at the same time. As part of that process, the developer will come up with a time estimate, which engineering management can then use to build a schedule.
Hey Glenn, when are you going to be finished with your feature?
2 weeks.
Sounds kind of low. Does that include bug fixing time?
2 months.
I'm going to put you down for 1 week.
As the developers begin implementation, they continue to collaborate with their QA partner. QA will file bugs against the feature, which the developer is then responsible for fixing. The feature can only be declared complete when QA has indicated that all major issues are addressed. For the next version of Flex, we've decided to adopt the Scrum development model. A key component of the Scrum methodology is the daily standing meeting, where developers aren't allowed to sit down to keep them fast, concise, and productive. A Scrum Master is responsible for keeping things on track. The Thermo team is so enthusiastic that they've moved from a standing meeting to a one-foot meeting. New Scrum developers should not attempt this. Having teams spread across various geographies means we occasionally have to have these check-in meetings over the phone. We've been known to take this to extremes occasionally. One aspect that will also affect the SDK team is the fact that we are now open source and will be doing our development in public. You might wonder how the team reacted when they first heard of this decision. Not everyone felt that way. Even though there is skepticism, I do believe that we will come together and be able to work with this new model moving forward.